We kick off with the reports that Guinea-Bissau has successfully conducted its presidential runoff elections. Former Finance Minister José Mario Vaz, who was the candidate for the dominant African Party for the Independence of Guinea and Cape Verde, took 61.9% of the votes, while his opponent Nuno Gomes Nabiam, an independent candidate, gathered 38.1%. Guinea-Bissau's last election in 2012 was abandoned after a military takeover, and this election marked the end of a transitional government. These elections will also help Guinea-Bissau to restore relationships with both its regional and international partners. Turnout for the election was 78.1%, down from the nearly 90% recorded in the first round vote, and election observers from both the Economic Community of West African States and the European Union say that voting was transparent. Mr. Vaz is quoted as saying, "The time has come to turn the page and opt for a policy of inclusion in Guinea-Bissau without religious or tribal discrimination in order to lead a crusade together against poverty." All that is left is for Guinea-Bissau's Supreme Court to validate the results before they become official. Business Day informs us that Nigeria has formally asked the United Nations Security Council Al-Qaeda Sanctions Committee to blacklist Boko Haram. The publication quotes a Reuters report as saying that if there are no objections from the 15-member Council Committee, which operates by consensus, Boko Haram will be sanctioned on the 21st of May 2014. We're told that Nigeria's supporting documentation also references the bomb attack on the United Nations Nigeria headquarters on the 26th of August 2011. The document also describes a campaign of violence against Nigerian schools and students by the group and references other attacks on schools last year. The Norwegian government has pledged the equivalent of $1.6 million to promote safe schooling in the northern part of Nigeria and to help communities affected by the abductions. Norwegian Foreign Minister Borge Brend, who announced the pledge at a meeting with supporters for the abducted girls, expressed the country's concern for the girls and also condemned the kidnapping. In another extremely touching show of support, thousands of Mexican women gathered in a stadium to stand up for the Chibok schoolgirls. From Ventures Africa, we see that Nigeria has been announced as host for the first ever World Pension Summit focused on Africa. The summit will hold in Abuja. Chinelo Anohuamazu, Acting Director General of the National Pension Commission, expressed the Commission's delight at the opportunity to host the forum, adding that rising investment in natural resources and rich private consumption has bolstered economic growth across the continent. The growth recorded, according to her, has put the pensions industry in pole position to provide stable consumer savings for Africa's growing middle class. Founder and chairman of the World Pension Summit, Arit Okpo, shared that Africa's growth story, particularly Nigeria as its largest economy, has been well documented. He added that the level of growth the continent has experienced calls for expectation, responsibility, and opportunity to leverage capital growth. We're told that Botswana, South Africa, Kenya and Ghana are some of the African countries expected at the summit, which will now hold annually. And finally, the Higher Education Department of South Africa has announced that Gauteng is to open a new Health and Allied Sciences University in 2015. Higher Education Minister Blade Nzimande announced that the name of the new university would be the Sefako Magatho Health Sciences University after Sefako Mapogo Magatho, second president of the African National Congress. The new university will be merged with the Medical University of South Africa campus in Garankuwa, Pretoria.